Hello everyone, welcome to Whimsy Wednesday. Clara's joined us for this first part. This session of Whimsy Wednesday is going to be a bit of storytelling followed by some show and tell. And we'll do a little pause in between because I am going to change locations. So, all right, where to start? This basically starts on Friday, but also starts years ago. So Friday was a migraine day for me. Wasn't like a super pain day. It was definitely like the eye weirdness thing. So like one chunk of my eyesight was doing the cloudy thing, and the other chunk was doing the seeing double thing. Don't worry, Doc knows all about this. So yeah, did the medicine, did the sleeping in, and so if you've followed for a while, you know that when I take my migraine medicine, my brain kind of wanders. And when I got to the point where I could like look at my screen, I was surfing Facebook and YouTube, and herein lies what kind of started this whole thing. I came across Bernadette Banner's video of turning her apartment into a functional workspace, and one of the components that she did was take two dressers from IKEA and a countertop and turned it into a large functional workspace with lots of drawers and a big surface area that was really beautiful. And she also had this incredible natural light. So I'm looking at this going, wait a second. She just pulled off so much storage, so much workspace. And I'm picturing the giant mess of a millinery room that I have. So this is where we're going to go back in time. So at one point in my life, I was obsessively organized. All right, not obsessively, just very organized. Literally had that whole a place for everything and everything in its place. All the cute things had a place, all the functional things had a place, and the places happened to be cute. It was to the point where I could close my eyes and I could tell you exactly where something is. In many cases, I can still close my eyes and tell you exactly where something was. All right, to give you an example, very practical example, like my cat at the time would wake me up in the middle of the night if she sensed a migraine was coming, and I wouldn't even have to open my eyes. I could walk from my bed through the bedroom, through the living room, into the kitchen, put my hand right on the box where my migraine medicine was. I knew exactly where it was. That's just becomes completely not the case. I could tell you which pattern was where, which items were where, exactly how many I had of something. I used a lot of like trunks and baskets, and it was just really, really cute. All my binders were organized. It was a thing. All my spaces were very practical. And then, well, you know, life changes. A lot of my stuff went into storage, moved back and forth across the country, all those things. Tried combining two very different organizational styles, or lack of organizational styles as it became for me. And then came, you know, gallbladder. And well, things just never got as neat and as functional as I would have liked them. So the sewing space just became completely overwhelming. I had my chrome shelves and attempted to keep things organized, but just, you know, never really was. So move here, and it ended up being trying to fit like twice as much stuff in half as much space. Even though it's with Dan leaving, it was still just so much stuff, so little space. And I still have like my personal stuff, family stuff in storage. So lots of frustration, lots of emotion, lots of life mess resulted in millinery room catastrophe. Okay, it was just a completely not functional space. So if I needed something, it resulted in like, which box is it in and where is the box? So yeah, that was the state of things. So, Friday I saw Bernadette's video, was like, yeah, enough's enough. I need a functional workspace. And so that was kind of like, I don't know if it was an epiphany moment or just a massive kick in the butt. So I started thinking about, okay, what do I need? Dressers. I can't quite do a space quite as big as, a workspace quite as big as what she has, though I would love it. Hop down, honey. Thank you. So I knew the space couldn't quite be as big because I just simply didn't have that much space in that room. Okay, so it did cross my mind to do the living room, which, all right, it's not a living room. This is like a room with a kitchen, a dining, and a living space. So yeah, the kitchen, dining, living space. This one room is literally like what my previous living room was, and also what the previous kitchen was. So that's literally half the space. Anyway, it crossed my mind to just get rid of the couch and everything else and turn this into a workspace. So that idea came and went in a couple hours. Utterly not practical. So I was thinking about what I could use in the millinery room, and I started looking at dressers, thinking, okay, maybe I can find some at estate sales. Like, how long would it take to find a matching pair at estate sales, and about how wide I would want them, how tall I would want them. And I really was thinking like hip to like thigh to hips height, and I was thinking like maybe 4 feet wide, running this like stuff through my head. And then I was looking at the prices of what they would cost new. Like I would totally prefer real wood, but that would have to be an estate or a yard sale thing. So I started looking at flat pack prices, and I was looking at like $200, $250 a piece. And I'm like, okay, not exactly in the budget that I was thinking. And I really love the idea of taking everything out of the boxes and totes and putting them in drawers. But then I'm like, wait a second, back up. Everything's already in particular totes and particular boxes to fit in the chrome shelves that I have, that I had been using in the other place, which now hold all the archival stuff. And I was like, okay, what if I get one of those chrome shelves and split it in half side by side? So if you're familiar with some of these chrome shelves, one of the standard widths is 48 inches, 4 feet, by 18 inches deep. And that would give a 4 foot by 3 foot workspace. I'm like, it's a pretty decent space, and then all my stuff would actually fit. So at this point, I'm looking at Amazon, and it's Friday evening, and just toying with the idea and thinking, okay, budget wise, maybe I'll do this in like October, November, see how sales go. I'd also been debating, should I get like the 48 inch wide one, or should I get the 36 inch wide one? Do they have a 36 that's also 18 deep? Turns out you got to really look at some of the measurements to make sure they're quite right. Oh, and by the way, I have an extra set of wheels. This is important. So went to bed. Then sometime around midnight, 1 a.m., I got up and I got the tape measure, and I was measuring in the millinery room over the massive like boxes and stuff that you stumble over. And determined that I could not go as big as 4x4, because I was actually thinking about leaving a space in between. 4x3 was what I needed to do. And I went back to bed. Still thinking, okay, October, November for this. So then I woke up Saturday morning, and I had signed up for a program with the Regency Society of Virginia, and I needed to find a length of lawn. So that's white fabric in a little plastic bag. It's labeled lawn. In one of the clear totes with a blue lid. There's several. So I started digging for said fabric. I didn't find it. It's entirely possible that I used it. But here's where we have that thing of, I used to know exactly where everything was, exactly how much I had of everything. And well, this just kind of like was that next little nudge of, no, we're not waiting. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna order. And I hopped back on Amazon, and I was about to order when I noticed the stars aren't quite 5. I'm like, all right, let me double check. And so I looked at the lower stars, and I'm like, okay, I don't like what I'm reading. Some people were weighing different parts. So like a set that they had previously bought and that particular set, and they weren't the same. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. So I decided to check BJ's and see what brand did I buy before. Can I get the same brand from Amazon? And when I checked BJ's, lo and behold, BJ's had them for $30 less. Like, great, I can order it and go get it. And it's the next county over. So not only had I not gone to a store since COVID began, I'd not gone to this county or the town that this was in since, Dan left. So excursion over to BJ's. I was trying to actually order it online, but I couldn't even get logged in. So I went and I picked up my shelves, and I got Home Depot to bring me out some wood. I ended up going with plywood rather than the pretty wood that I wanted, because Home Depot is in the town that BJ's is in, not Lowe's. Lowe's had the pretty wood, but that would have required coming all the way back and then all the way up to another county. So that wasn't happening. We're just going with the wood I could get. So this is where I'm going to hit pause. I'm actually going to hit the right button this time. Okay, so here's the work surface. It is 4 feet this way. It's 3 feet that way. There is a tiny space in between the two sets of shelves that I've actually slid one of those cheap portfolios in between. And that's holding all the patterns, templates that I want to keep flat, which are primarily for millinery things. Not sure what you can see. Let me move these. So this side has the cutting table, and then over here, I just threw one of the ridiculous many of linen tablecloths I have on top. I did not iron it. I just threw it on. And Clara is down here meowing, wanting to know what's up. So here's, I guess, the mini tour. What are you doing, Goose? All right, so these are two little things that I've been, excuse me, I'm so sorry. These are two little things that I plan on working on for the Whimsy Wednesday coming up. This is a project that I did a long time ago that I thought would be a nice one to share. This is just some fun stuff. So working around the table, laying right in front of you, is a coverlet that I have to talk to a friend about to see if she would like, for sure. I know we've mentioned it, but I really need her to know the condition that it's in. It's bad. I thought I would put the things that I felt I needed at fingertips up here. This is one of the box of ribbons that I go through a lot. These pasteboard, paper mache, whatever you call them, boxes I've been using when I set up in the village. There's 2 hams sitting here, so I can remind myself to get rid of one. I don't need 2 hams. All right, I'm realizing I'm going to have to like adjust and turn. All right, so going around, these are the straw motif baskets that I use. I'm going to be working on those. Magnifying glass in front. And then over there are my sewing baskets and workbox. All right, so let's come back around. How am I going to do this? Behind me is the closet that has all of the the archival items in it. So that is where the hood collection lives. You don't get to see that yet because I do have one more plan for what's going on in there. I need some help to adjust the chrome shelves that live in there. They're right now half high, so the same height as this. This shelf over here is going to get an extension higher. All right, now how am I going to have you guys see behind? Let's do this. Move the hands. All right, so back behind. Okay, so down here are a couple boxes that I haven't found homes for. Okay, need everyone's vote here. Do you keep the appliance boxes? I have the box from the printer that I feel I need to keep in case I move. Do I need to keep it? I don't know. Okay, so let me know. What's your vote? Clara, stop. You're fine. Go eat your dinner. Oh, goodness. All right, so I have 2 of the closet towers. These are what we actually had in the bedroom at the previous place and kept things on because we didn't actually have a closet. But it works really nice for holding some of the baskets. You still can't see over there, can you? I'm sorry, people. Let's move these in front of me. Somewhere. Here we go. I'll hold them. All right, so the little light blue one is from the Farmer's Museum. The little green one is actually one I picked up at an estate sale. The little doll trunk is from Ragged Soldier. This is part of a set. And each of those baskets actually holds specific things. And at one point I had little tags to remind myself what was in each one. So the littlest one holds the needles and it's hiding behind. And then one holds buttons, one holds cord trims, and one holds another basket. All right, so then we come to all of the many hat boxes. No surprise, there's a lot of those. Yeah, you can see one of the bigger ones up there. Those have simultaneously other hat boxes for when I set up at the museum, and some of them do have bonnets. Okay, so let me put this back, and we will continue our way around. Dun, 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 dun. Was that totally cheesy? Probably. All right. So, yeah, the tower of hat boxes. It's not all hat boxes. Down below that is one of my little trunks, and actually where all of my patterns are organized. And for now, I didn't know where to put them. My shipping boxes are tucked in back here as well. All right. So we have obviously more hat boxes. These actually have the fabrics from the fabric swap a few years ago. Here is my straw motif display. Let's get this way. I didn't get that quite as centered as I wanted, so I'm trying to keep the space at the bottom. I think that's where I wanted to put the labels, actually. Need to finish that. From here down is ribbon. One of my kind of, I guess, less organized, more embarrassing corners. So back there, that's bolts, the long bolts, but on top of that is the wrapping paper, and it's guarded by 2 American Girl dolls. So here's a weird thing with me and the American Girl dolls. I didn't even know about them until I was in college, and I was at the museum and they were talking about programs. So I kind of missed that whole thing, and I didn't come to own any American Girl dolls until this last year when I was trying to figure out millinery for them. All right, so then we come over to the cabinet that used to hold fabric, and now, as you can tell, holds straw. And down here are the tablecloths, and then all the boxes for when I do the shop. And then lots of baskets. And of course, a ridiculous number of handstands. Okay. And I don't know how far I can go without hitting the window. Let's have me stand in front of the window. Sorry about the light. Okay. In the far corner, this is the back bookcase when you hear me refer to that. And then some other pieces that I'm working on. So, let's see. You probably want to know the underneath of everything. So, how do I want to do this? I want to do this without making a mess or having too much light. I'm going to turn you back around, all right? I'm going to try to turn you back around. Sorry, don't want to make everybody too dizzy. Am I back in the right spot? I'm all tilted. There we go. Okay. So, if you ever are considering chrome shelves, it's worth knowing what fits where with those, okay? So, I can tell you, nope, I'm totally chopping off my head. I don't like that. All right, so one of these days I am going to invest in a WeVideo account again. So I can actually edit these. My apologies until then. All right, so that's better. I have a head again. These are 4 feet wide, okay? And I can tell you that, let's just take this fabric length out of there. These boxes, okay, will fit depth-wise for the 18 inches front to back, okay? And 4 of these will fit across, okay? Then you have these. And this is actually what's on the other side. These are some of the Sterilite boxes, okay? These will fit 2 deep and then 3 sets across, okay? So 6 of these in total. Or you can do the half size, 2 on top of each other, and set your shelf height so you can actually fit, how did I do? I did all 4 sets, I think, in terms of height. Then, oh, I'm so not getting those out. I think those are 10-gallon totes. The Sterilite totes that are about yay deep, yay wide, those fit 3 across. So that's actually what I have on the very bottom are the bigger Sterilite totes on each side. This side has those clear, shallow totes that I'm called sweater totes. Those fit across here, so that's 8 of those. And then on that side are these, okay? So, like these, this is millinery flowers, and I have them all tissued so they don't get scrunched. Hi, Clara. You stay down. Don't try it. Don't even think about it. She's thinking about it. She's not that skilled. So then I do like fabrics for millinery. Then I have, they actually hold magazines really well. I have the Old Citizen's Companion stuffed away in one of these. No! Can you hear her? Then I have like a shallow one that's good for office supplies. A lot of fan use samples. Really? No. This is not allowed. Sorry about that. And then I have a few that are actually like ready to go, grab and go sets for workshops. That are all ready to go from previous things that I've done. The sweater boxes are actually all labeled millinery silks, fanciful utility silks, fanciful utility fillers. That's the one that I brought out. So that has like all the needle books, the packets of needles, bodkins, things like that in it. So is that it? I think that's it. I think that's my quick and dirty tour of the reorganized sewing room. Obviously, there's some things that are still out, not quite perfect, but it's much better than it was. I can now come in here. There's plenty of floor space over here. It's actually between like the edge of the workspace and my great grandma's dresser. I'm actually considering a little rug over there. I need to measure, but I think I can fit a 4x6. But that also means I can eventually just pull this out a little bit too. I do have a filing cabinet here, and we're not going to show you the boxes of stuff that have to get filed into the filing cabinet. Like I said, it's been a rough couple years. Bit ashamed of that, but I'll deal. So yeah, so that's my organization. It's on its way to cute. It's definitely at functional. Hoping the light in here turns out okay. It's actually a very overcast, rainy day, so this is with very little light coming in. I only have one lamp in here. Oh, it does remind me. I have this really cute sort of stained glass cat lamp that my previous landlady gave me that I love, and I've yet to get it out. I'm actually considering getting it out and having it on the work table. I just have to figure out where the outlets are over there, because I only know where one outlet is in this room, which is kind of silly. I really wish there was one on this little tiny wall. What? Okay, so Miss Clara says I must come now, that I simply have not been paying enough attention to her. So I'm going to let you all go. I'll get this uploaded, and I hope you enjoy your Whimsy Wednesday. Bye-bye, all.